Hello everyone. This is Amy with Simply Elizabeth Crafts, and I have one more card to share with you using the Sunrise Sailing bundle. It is dies, a stamp set, and a 3D embossing folder that you can also add in your, they call it a hybrid. You can actually take your dies and you can sit it right into your, well, I'm putting it on the wrong side. Let's try this. There we go. So it'll sit right into your embossing folder, and then you would put your paper in there, close it up, and then you would cut it. And when you cut it, it's actually going to emboss it and cut it all at the same time. So it's a pretty cool technique that Stampin' Up! Does with their embossing folders. All right, so let's get started on our last card using this bundle. I'm going to move everything aside, and we're going to create this card right here. And I'm going to change up the color of the sentiment here. We're actually going to go and stick with the Misty Moonlight on it. So you'll see a little bit of a difference on it, but it will still look very, very similar. Okay, and there is a blog post. Apparently I did not click publish on last week's from Tuesday, and so it is up now, so just make sure that you go check that out. And then there is a separate blog post for this one that will go live as well. All right, so let me grab my bone folder. Then we're going to actually take and go ahead and put our insert in. To our card base right here. All right, and then we're going to set this aside. We're going to grab a piece of grid paper. We're going to take a piece of cloud cover cardstock. This is a new in color, and I love the new in colors. We are going to start with some Misty Moonlight. Actually, you know what? Let's start with our basic gray first. So we're going to take basic gray. We're going to grab a blending brush. And then we're going to start right about here in the center. And we're going to blend until it's dark. Because what we're kind of doing is creating like a stormy sky. And I'm going to speed up the video while I get this to the dark color that I would like it. All right, so we're gonna go with that. And now we're gonna move over to our Misty Moonlight, and we're gonna ink up our blending brush, and then we're gonna ink up the bottom down here. And then we're going to kind of blend it in with that basic gray. And this won't take very long because the blue is really good at blending on most of your paper. So there we go. And then we're going to leave the top as that cloud cover color. All right. So while we're here, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. We're going to stick it right there. And then we're going to stamp our sailboat. And we're going to do that in black memento. And sometimes it's easier to take your larger stamps and lay it flat down and ink it up like this. All right. And then we're going to do there. And I know that was a lot of inking it up, but I just want to make sure that that black line is very solid. Okay, now we're going to take, I've already cut out the clouds, and since we've already got our colors out, we're going to just take and kind of make our clouds a little on the stormy looking side, and we're gonna take that basic gray, and actually what we'll do is we can just take our blending brush and just kind of go around the edges, and then we're gonna just kind of rub it in on top. So you don't want them to be too white for the purpose of it being kind of a stormy look. And if you get some good little ink lines, I think that works really well too. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple of them. And then let's do one more. Just make sure we get it good and inked up. There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit more to this one. There we go. Okay. All right, we'll set those aside. Before we cut out, let's go ahead and color our sailboat. And we're going to do that in Misty Moonlight. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the dark and then just kind of color around the edges. And this won't actually take too long. And then we're going to do it over here as well. Okay, and then we're going to take the light and we're going to fill that all in. And actually, let's just use our brush end to make it go a little quicker. There we go. And then we'll color that one in. Ta-da. Okay, now we're going to do Pecan Pie. And this is the dark. Oops, wrong end. We're going to do up here. And then we're going to do around the edge. Like that. And then we'll take our light and we'll fill it in. Okay, I'm going to cut out our two pieces really quick and I'll be right back. All right, there we go. So now we can start putting our card together. So we're actually going to take this Misty Moonlight really quick. We're going to kind of line up where we want our boat. We're going to ink up this water part right here, and then we're just going to stamp it down right there. Okay. All right, now we're going to take and actually pop up our boat using some dimensionals. Okay, we're going to actually take this one and we're going to cut it in half. And we're going to attach there and there. And then we're going to stick this one right here in the center. Okay. And then our boat is going to go on. And we're going to stick it right here. And we're just going to lightly kind of lay it down because we're going to put our clouds in. So we're going to take some adhesive. We're going to add this one right here to the top. And we're going to add this one to the bottom down here. Okay, and then we'll put that one down. We're going to pop up these two smaller clouds. So we'll stick a dimensional there and there. And then there. And this one, we're going to move that over just a touch. because we want to be able to put that little part over our boat. So that's going to sit right here. And then this one is going to sit right here. Okay, we're going to flip this over and just trim off this end here. Okay. Then we're going to take some linen thread and we're going to tie it around the bottom. And we're actually going to take and put some adhesive right here and right there. And we're going to start it. And we're not going to tie a bow because we're kind of trying to make a masculine card here. And we'll stick that down there, trim it off. And then we will pop it up using dimensionals. Okay, we'll adhere this right here on our card front. We're going to make sure we've got that on there right. Then I'm going to cut some edges right here. We're going to put on the bottom and the top. Because we want it to sit over the linen thread. And we don't want it to waver. So if you put it on top of your ribbon, the sentiment can kind of go back and forth. And so this will make it so that it lays flat to your cardstock. All right, and then there is our final card. And I really do feel like either color, so this was all done with Misty Moonlight, this just the sentiment and the water. Stamp was done with Night of Navy, and I think they look pretty similar. So you can pick whichever color you want. But again, there is a blog post that'll give you the dimensions and the products used. If you have any questions, let me know. And thanks for joining me. Have a good one. Bye.